Welcome to another in our series of People, Places, and Things of the Bible. Our topic for today is words. The words mission and sympathy. I've chosen several selected readings on the subjects from the publication Sermon Illustrations. When Francis Xavier, called the Apostle of the Indies, proposed his mission, his friends tried by every possible representation of the dangers and hardships involved to deter him from going. He replied, "The most tractable and opulent nations will not want preachers, but this is for me, because others will not undertake it. If the country abounded in odoriferous woods and mines of gold, all danger would be braved in order to procure them. Should merchants then be more intrepid than missionaries? Shall these unfortunate people be excluded from the blessings of redemption? It is true they are a barbarous and brutal people, but even were they more so, he who can convert even stones into children of Abraham, cannot he soften hearts? Should I be instrumental in the salvation of but one of them, I should think myself well recompensed for all the labors and dangers by which you endeavor to affright me." And again, a poor Christian mechanic was much chagrined, told that he could give so little for missions when the subscription was passed among the workmen of the factory. He told his wife of it, and she was inspired to try to earn something for the cause of the mission. She secured some silk twist and a few button molds, and began the manufacture of silk buttons. She sent a sample to a New York merchant, saying that if they would sell, the money was to be her husband's contribution for missions. She received an answer: "Make as many as you choose. I can sell 100 dozen. The wife made her venture unknown to her husband, but now he was let into the secret. Success crowned her efforts. Machinery was procured and replaced hand labor. A large manufacturing building, extensive business, and ample fortune grew up from and rewarded their love and labor for missions." And from the same publication, on sympathy. A minister, noted for intellectual strength, was felt to be out of place in the house of affliction. Sickness and death had never touched him or his loved ones. However, a loathsome disease finally entered his family, rendered his wife helpless, and carried off his darling child, for whom he prayed, like David, that he might be spared. The minister came forth from that furnace of affliction a changed man, as remarkable for his sympathy and consolation as he had previously been for his stoicism. Further, another story on sympathy. Mr. Mingans of New York said a lady came into his office and wanted a few tracts. She didn't feel as if she could do very much of active work for the Lord, but felt like giving away a few tracts. One day she saw a policeman taking a poor drunken woman to jail. A miserable object, ragged, dirty, and hair disordered. But the lady's heart went out in sympathy toward her. She found the woman after she came out of jail, and just went and folded her arms around her and kissed her. The woman exclaimed, "My, what did you do that for?" And she replied, "I don't know, but I think the Lord sent me to do it." The woman said, "Oh, don't kiss me anymore. You'll break my heart. Why, nobody has kissed me since my mother died." But that kiss brought the woman to the feet of the Savior, and for the following years she has been living a godly Christian life, won to God by a kiss. And finally, a story of a gentleman one day came to the office of a preacher for the purpose of getting him interested in a young man who had just got out of the penitentiary. "He says," said the gentleman, "he don't want to go to the office, but I want your permission to bring him in and introduce him." He said, "Bring him in." The gentleman brought him in and introduced him, and the preacher took him by the hand and told him he was glad to see him. He invited him to his house, and when he took him into his family, he introduced him as his friend. When his little daughter came into the room, he said, "Emma, this is Papa's friend." And she went up and kissed him, and the man sobbed aloud. After the child left the room, the preacher said, "What is the matter?" "Oh, sir," he said, "I have not had a kiss in years. The last kiss I had was from my mother, and she was dying. I thought I would never have another kiss again. This man's heart was broken by a little girl's kiss, a kiss of sympathy. And Lord willing, let's meet here again tomorrow and look at more people, places, and things of the Bible.